Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fastpitch TV show. I'm with Coach Evans here in College Station at Texas A&M. Coach, thanks for coming to the show.
Absolutely. Nice to be here.
It is great to have you on the show. I was here with my daughter today. She got her Aggie ring, she told me, not her senior ring.
No, yeah. Aggie ring. It's special.
Yes, she's told me, and I can't believe how many kids are getting Aggie rings today.
Yeah.
But since I was here, I took advantage of the opportunity to contact Coach Evans, and we're going to do a little question and answer with her, a little interview. One of the things we're going to talk about today is Coach Evans, in case you're not familiar with her, wears some people call it a catcher's cap, some people call it a skull cap, now they actually sell them, and they're called coach's caps while she's at third base. And I thought that was a really interesting fact. I was watching the game last year, and I saw you wearing that helmet, and I said to my daughter, I said, she's wearing a coach's cap. That's what I call them now since I sell them, actually. And so what made you start wearing a skull cap?
Well, I had a head injury. My first year at A&M, I was coaching third base, and one of our kids turned on an inside pitch and had a line drive, and I was just barely able to turn my head, and so I was hitting the head, and I was seriously injured, and so I missed most of the season, spent 5 weeks in bed really during our season, and had a slight hairline fracture and hearing loss and vertigo for a year, and
wow.
it was a pretty serious injury, so it wasn't, the doctor said, you're going to wear a helmet, there's no question about it. So, initially it's kind of embarrassing, and it draws a lot of attention, and when you have hecklers, it's an easy target, but now I'm just used to it, it's no big deal, and now I'm like the trendsetter. Now there's, baseball coaches wearing them and stuff, but at the time it was just out of complete necessity, having been injured.
So that made a real believer out of you, I guess. Now we've stocked for this year. We started getting calls in our store. I told you we have a store. We started getting calls for them at playoff time by some baseball leagues requiring them. So we have stocked a ton of them, and they are just blowing out. This is becoming a reality, and I think in 5 years, these will be at least ways in select ball and youth ball and high school ball, like the face guards are for the batting helmets.
Yeah.
And so you just were way ahead of the trend.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was the one that was injured, but it makes sense, And again, it's awkward. It feels uncomfortable because we're not used to wearing them. And I played back in the day where we didn't even wear helmets, so I've never worn a helmet. So it really feels unusual. But of course now, it's no big deal, and my manager just keeps a handle on it. And when I need to go out and coach third, she tosses it to me, and it works out fine. In fact, there have been a couple of times I've forgotten to put it on, and our players are right on top of it. They wouldn't let me go out without a helmet. So, it's a smart thing to do, and especially for me, having already sustained a head injury. Once you've had a head injury once, it's just that much more dangerous the next time you get hit.
Right. Well, I coached third for my select team when I had a select team. My daughter went out and coached third base the other day for a team she's on, and she said, Dad, that ball comes to you awful quick at third base. He goes, I had to start backing up.
Right.
And so I imagine at the level you're playing at, that ball's really coming to you fast.
Yeah, it's flying. The bats are very lively. The ball's lively. When you have a hitter like Megan Gibson, who we had on our team last year, there are times I'm way down the line, and I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm going to make sure that I'm in the play and I can help our players. But, it's important to be smart, and I think some coaches, maybe their ego might get in the way, or they feel a little bit embarrassed, or a little too maybe macho or something about wearing a helmet. I'm sure our coaches won't want to, but you're right, it may become a necessity. I know that Michelle Gromacki, the head coach at Fullerton, was hit in the head last year, and now she's wearing a helmet as well. So there are a couple of us out there, but really just wearing them because we've already sustained injuries.
Well, to a trendsetter, and I think that's what it is. I know it was by accident. You didn't plan on it, but you really did. And now, before we wrap this up, I want to find how you guys going to do this year. How you feeling?
Well, we're going to do well. We're really young. We lost 3 All-Americans from last year's team that played for a national championship. We're runner-up, and so we've got big shoes to fill, and yet we've got some really good young talent. So I think we'll take our knocks early and really work hard at it. But I feel good about it, and I think once you establish your program with that kind of culture that you're going to play for championships, that you're going to compete with the nation's best, then you just expect that every year you're going to bring in new players who can fill the shoes of the former players.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I did not know the background on the helmet. I just knew you wore one, so I found that really educational. I hope you did too. So thanks for joining me, Coach Evan, and to you out there watching the show, thanks for watching, and gig 'em.